Hey, what is going on everyone? I'm Silversabeast and I'm back here to bring you another video today. In this video, we're going to be talking about more story. Yeah, imagine that on this channel too. But we're going to be talking about more story because you guys seem to enjoy those videos and I enjoy making them. These are probably my favorite thing I've ever done on my channel is these story videos. So let's jump right into it. Today we're going to be talking about the Deathless Kings in Infinity Blade 1 and we should get some good discussion. Alright, so the Deathless Kings were added to the game in an update 1.2? I don't remember what update it was, but it was one of the, it wasn't the first one, it was one of the ones down the line. But anyway, in this update, the dungeons were opened up and you were able to go explore the dungeons in the first game. And once you had the Infinity Blade, you could go unlock the 3 doors, and once you beat the 3 enemies inside those doors, you could go into the 4th room with which is the God King's Rebirth Chamber, and fight Archerin and Zero Mech. But today we're going to be focusing on the 3 enemies that you have to fight to get into the 4th room: Elysium, Cuero, and Gortol. Now, okay, so let's talk about them. Okay, so Elysium is probably the most important one. They all got locked down there, and their cells are just like the workers' cell. They're soul cells, and they can't get out until another Deathless takes their place. So they're locked down there until another Deathless comes and takes their place. So they're just like the workers' cell. However, I think Elysium is the most important one. He has the most dialogue. He says Cyrus is just a pawn. However, I don't think that he knows that who he is. I feel like Elysium has been around for a while, and if he knew that Cyrus is Alsar, he wouldn't say he's a pawn. So Elysium is the most important one, I think. He does look very similar to Thane. However, I don't think they look similar enough to say they're related. Some people have mentioned that before. But, so yeah. And, so Thane and Elysium could be related, although I doubt it, even though they look very similar. But, just Elysium has a lot of knowledge, and I think he's an important character. So, I mean, obviously I don't think we'll see him again, because I don't know if the Infinity Blade was charged or not when we kill him, although it has that huge explosion effect, so I'm guided to think that the Infinity Blade was fully charged when we stabbed Elysium, meaning he would be truly dead. So, we'll have to see, though. So the next character in the cells is Cuero. He is dual-wielding. He sits in that room of spikes. I don't think that room of spikes has any significance other than the fact that it looks awesome. That's definitely one of the coolest environments I've seen in the games. Same flash with him when we killed him, so he's definitely truly dead. All the Deathless Kings had that flash. So yeah, I don't know. Cuero doesn't say a whole lot. He says we shouldn't be down there, obviously. I don't know. I mean, and maybe if they knew he was Deathless, they would try to switch with him, because he does have the Infinity Blade. And as far as I know, the Infinity Blade is what you use to switch over the soul that is contained in a soul cell, because that's what they use in Infinity Blade 2 to free the worker. But I don't know, so we'll have to see what happens there. So yeah, Cuero, interesting character. He looks awesome. I call him Reverse Slender Man just because he's like almost completely dressed in white with a black cloak over his face. I mean, you don't really see any of the faces in the first game, and you only see one face in the second game, which is Cyrus's. But I'm getting off track. So Cuero, interesting, but we don't get a lot from him. Alright, Gortol. Now, Gortol, even though he doesn't say anything, he's interesting. And here's why. Gortol is a deathless mutant, if that makes sense. Donald Mustard said in an interview, or not an interview, a podcast, which is kind of like an interview, I guess. He said that Gortol is a deathless mutant of some sorts, where they're trying to mess with the QIP being like the Deathless's soul and what allows them to rebirth. And when you trap someone in a soul cell, you're really trapping their QIP in there, so they can't like die and go rebirth somewhere else, or they can't get out until another Deathless takes their place. So Donald said that the Deathless were messing with the Gortol's QIP, and he became like that. So he's like this big giant brute now, looks like a Rancor from Star Wars. So he's interesting. I mean, so the Deathless at some point were trying to experiment with the QIP. Obviously they did it a lot with the Infinity Blade and stuff like that. But they were trying to fiddle with it a little bit, trying to change it around, which that could be interesting in future games. I don't really know. We'll have to see, definitely, because the story's definitely not done yet. We got a while to go. Donald Mustard said he had quite a few more games planned out, or story quite a lot more story planned out. But yeah, so Elysium seems to be the most important because he seems to know the most, although Gortol could be the most important because he's like a lab rat, and we could learn a lot from him if we were to meet him again. Although, like I said, I think they're all dead because there is that big flash. However, I seem to remember in Infinity Blade Awakening that Arcrin was the one to finish off the charge, and if that's true, then the 3 Deathless in the Deathless King's cages wouldn't be dead, but I'm not really sure. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video. Elysium and Gortol seem to be the most important. Cuero isn't really much of a help with the story. I mean, he is a cool character, but we don't really learn much about the story from him. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more awesome iOS gaming content. And follow me on Twitter, link in the description. Add me on GameCenter. My name is Silversabeast. But that's it for this video, guys. I'm Silversabeast, and I'm out.